Greetings and salutations, friends. My name is, of course, Charles Quasar Banks, and welcome to a very random video dedicated to making a tier list based on my personal video game favorites. And the reason why I wanted to make this video was because recently I started playing BioShock, a game that is very well beloved by very many people. And I gave it a go for the past couple of weeks. I've played it for about 10 hours, probably, all told. And the more I play it, the more I dislike it, which is very surprising, seeing as I am very much an enjoyer of retro games in general. And, you know, while I have not really ever played that many first-person shooter games on my channel, and end up not going back to play them ever again, when I do, I do enjoy some FPS games. I played a lot of them back in the day, and enjoyed them. COD and Medal of Honor, and 007, multiple 007 games I played, and Halo, the whole series, including the bad ones, and Destiny 1 and 2 I very much enjoyed, for as long as that lasted. I did get tired of Destiny, though. And I would return to most of those games outside of Destiny for fun, but for some reason, BioShock really just did not catch my fancy. I do appreciate the world and the atmosphere, but, you know, I did not enjoy it, and that caused many people to be quite shocked. And maybe this is just a lack of knowing me very well and my tastes, because I've gotten very many game suggestions, and almost every single time I play a game that I've been suggested, I dislike it. There are other games that I still have not played on stream that I know I will like, and I will get to those, but usually suggestions tend to be way off the mark of what I actually enjoy. So, I thought, maybe if I, you know, put out there a list of my favorites and least favorites, then people will be able to understand me better and perhaps make more informed game suggestion decisions. I do like to try out new games that are outside of my comfort zone, but most of the time it is going to be a failure because I am a very peevish person, alright? And I have a very specific palette for types of games that I enjoy playing. And if it doesn't fall within the parameters very narrowly, then I will hate the experience and criticize it endlessly throughout the experience. So, this is to help you, chat. And so I have here a list of games, 100 plus games on a tier list that I have found on tiermaker.com. And you will watch it with me as I go through all these games. I have not even looked at the list yet. I just wanted as broad of a generic list of games as I could get. Maybe this will help us out a little bit, understand one another better. So, here we go. Oh, right. Display capture. I guess that works. So here we are. This is the list. This is not made by myself. This is some person on TierMaker made this, and so I'm going to use it. Now, this has a masterpiece rating: amazing, great, very good, good, decent, bad, really bad, horrible, and have not tried the game. Many of these will probably be in the have not tried the game yet portion, but it's tier list time, so let's get to it. Very ironically, BioShock is the first game on this list. Which is, you know, that just seems to be fate. I mean, I don't believe in fate, I believe in the Lord. The Lord God chooses our fates and destinies for us. And we also have free will, however that works out. So BioShock. This will, you know, already give you a pretty good reading. This is also not. Let me just say this before I put this down in any place, any position. This is definitely not what I think objectively about the game list. Whether I think the game is qualitatively good or bad, this is my favorites subjectively and least favorites subjectively, on the most shallow of terms. So, for any reason of my own, not based on the quality of the game. So if I put anything into horrible that you like, that doesn't mean that I think the game is bad. It just means that I did not enjoy it. So these, tier list titles are not really accurate. So let's do this. BioShock, I would put in the I had a bad experience with it category, which is about a 3 out of 10. And I have to be honest with you. So far, 10 hours in, and apparently the game is around 15 to 20 hours, as far as I've heard, maybe 25 if you're going full stop completionist. But my experience has been, it's extremely difficult, very trial and error, and it just didn't jive with me. Like, it's also filled with cussing and, references to extremely mature adult stuff, which I generally do not enjoy in my games, so that definitely puts a pall on my experience of it. Also, a lot of the story beats felt very cliched to me. I watched a lot of TV, and so when this game, I actually got around to playing it, these kind of character tropes and, enemy designs and villains all seemed very, tropish, to be honest. And maybe a lot of things have been influenced by BioShock, and therefore caused me to have a tropish outlook on those ideas, but even just coming to them with that understanding, I cannot help but shake the feeling that this was an extremely cliched experience, and that I could not even appreciate the atmosphere enough because the gameplay was so old-fashioned shooter game, unfair AI enemies. I could not enjoy it. Still cannot. I'm going to try to beat it for the sake of the fans, for the sake of you, but for now, I do not enjoy it. And also, whether or not the story is quality doesn't really matter to me. It may be the best story of all time, but if I'm not enjoying the game's gameplay from moment to moment, that's not going to make a difference for me in how I enjoy it. Because I watch movies and read books for story. I do not play games for the story. But that's me. Maybe you are different, and that is fine. Alright, next up is Castlevania Symphony of the Night, I believe. If it were just Castlevania, this would be a very different experience. I had a decent experience with this. I did not have a good experience with it. I didn't. I played for about 16 hours, and I just don't like Metroidvania-style games, or should I say... Yeah, Metroidvania. Castlevania Symphony of the Night kind of leaves its traditional roots of simple side-scrolling from one side of the screen to the other game design. I love Rondo of Blood, I hope that's on here. Rondo of Blood is great. Symphony of the Night, I do not enjoy as much. I hate having to backtrack and fight through enemies I've already slain, and, the whole map design is so tedious. That's one reason why I don't like Hollow Knight very much. But same issues here. Nothing to do with the story or the graphics. I think it's beautiful, and the music is amazing as well, and the whole feeling, everything. But the gameplay was very, very repetitive and tedious, and just moving throughout the map was such a chore that I ended up not enjoying it. It's still I had a decent time with it. Like, the time that I spent in it, I could see the appeal, I could see the goodness in it. There were a lot of things to enjoy about it, but I just could not bring myself to play it anymore after that point. And that's generally how it is. Anything below good, I'm not going to come back to. So, moving on, Fallout New Vegas. I've never played this. Maybe there will be other Fallout games on here, but I think this is a group of the best games. So maybe one day I'll play or try Fallout New Vegas. Half-Life, same thing. I don't imagine I would enjoy Half-Life very much. Well, maybe, I'm not sure. Maybe Half-Life 2 I would enjoy, but Half-Life 1 does not look very fun to me. Very old school FPS, and that's the era that's the most hardcore. Which generally means less fun and more challenging. Street Fighter 2. Now, this is a game that I have enjoyed, but going back to it, it's very rough and requires so much dedication to get anything out of it. To beat any of the AI. Like, I bought the, what was it? The collection, Street Fighter 2 collection with all the different versions. And I tried them all, and there were a couple where I could get further, but I would not dedicate my life to getting better at this game. It's good, though. I enjoy fighting games. I enjoy Street Fighter 2. It's a commitment to get better at those games. Also, very old games require a lot more skill and a lot more attention, a lot more time to enjoy them. But I do enjoy Street Fighter 2. Definitely some of the best fighting game advancements in fighting games. That's where the rubber met the road. What is this? Oh, is that Smash Bros? Well, that's very good, for sure. I mean, it is a masterpiece, but this is my subjective opinion and experience. Yeah, I'd say I had a pretty great experience with this. Not amazing, but pretty great. Yeah, I'll put it there. I do love Smash Brothers. I will sometimes just go back and play a little bit, play around, try to unlock some characters. Smash Brothers Melee is my favorite. I haven't played too much of the others, but I have played a little bit of each one of the newer games. And I do think they get a little crazy. I'm not a huge fan of the extra, like, finisher moves that came out in the next Smash Brothers. But, yeah, very fun. I would love to come back to it, but I'm not a multiplayer guy, so it's very rare that I don't think you'll ever see me play these games, unless I play the campaigns on stream. Maybe one of these days I will, but I need a Nintendo Switch! I need one! Anyway, this is Team Fortress. That's it. I've never played it. Moving on, Until Dawn. This is a game I would never play. Until Dawn is a story-first game. Not only that, it is a horror game based on horror B-movies. And a lot of the content is very inappropriate for me and my channel, so I'll never play that. I have watched a little bit, though, and some of it is pretty hilarious, but I don't think it's worth wading through all the boring choices and story. Warframe, actually, pretty good. Yeah, I'll put it in good. Warframe is a very excellently made, free-to-play, basically MMO. I mean, it doesn't really feel like an MMO when you play it, but yeah, I enjoyed it. I played at least 60 to 80 hours of this game, probably between, 2014 and 2016, and I enjoyed it, but it eventually got way too tedious and repetitive and grindy to get anywhere, and things started to look very samey. The updates, though, for it keep coming out, and it is definitely worth checking out. I would recommend it. But, I like the fact that it did get very tedious after only 60 hours or 80 hours. 60 to 80 hours means that it doesn't have staying power for me. Didn't. And it seems very tedious to get back into it again for me. So that's why I put it at good instead of very good, great, amazing masterpiece. Because it did seem to be very glitchy, and the multiplayer experience was pretty bad. It did force me to get into the multiplayer bits in order to advance. Uncharted is another game series I would probably never play. Too story-focused, too set-piece focused. I don't like cutscenes. Yeah. Yakuza? Is that Yakuza? Yeah, that's Yakuza. Nope, same reason. Battlefield 1. Have not done it. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 on the PlayStation! Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is great. I'm definitely not a skater type dude, but the entire package of Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 was amazing. Amazing. Made you feel like a rebel playing it. It's just, oh my gosh, I would play that today for fun. I will definitely come back to that. Maybe one of these days I'll stream that on a Saturday. Yeah, I actually, does this deserve to be like this? Yes, that makes more sense. That makes a lot more sense. But Tony Hawk Pro Skater, let it be known, is indeed a masterpiece. The only things I'm going to be putting in masterpiece are games that I play on the regular, because they are my favorites, my absolute favorites. And I haven't played Tony Hawk Pro Skater since I was a young boy. I could emulate it, but that takes time. And I'm, like I said, I'm not a skater dude, so I never think to. So it's just kind of there. At a 7, a respectable 7. Red Dead Redemption 2 seems like a really good movie, but I had a really bad experience with it. Worse than BioShock. I was 5 hours in, and I had, like, been in 2 gun battles. And the rest of it was walking around, riding in a carriage around, talking to people, being in an what do you call it? A fist fight that required QTEs. I think QTEs are one of my least favorite things in gaming history. I think it needs to die. QTEs need to be deleted from all of history, because I do think it takes away control from the player and just expects you to do a short, like, flick, reflexes puzzle, which... Why is that? Why would you give your player all of this control over guns and bullet time and all these other cool abilities, rolling, dodging, running, jumping, and then all of a sudden hit square in order to punch ruffian in the face? Now tap triangle. And it's like, are you serious? I think it's so stupid. So anyway, in all the 5 or 6 hours that I played Red Dead Redemption 2, I found it super boring. The story was not interesting to me. Like I said, I don't care about story. Yeah, I think it would be interesting if I just watched it. But also, it's one of those games made by Rockstar Games that is very inappropriate to me, and I would not return to it again for $50 million. Dota 2. I've never played Dota, but I have played League, and we'll get to that if League is on here. Fire Emblem. Never played Fire Emblem. I'm not averse to it, but I do believe they are turn-based, which I'm not a fan of. Halo Reach. Tasty. It's so good. It's so good. Now, this is a game in which I can appreciate the story, because the moment-to-moment gameplay is so solid. It's basically just Halo with special abilities, which I really love. Took the idea of shielding and different poppable, consumable items from Halo 3 and expanded upon it with whole new special abilities and items together. So I think this is it's almost a masterpiece for me. I mean, you know what? Why not? Why not? I love Halo Reach. I want to play it again. I really do. Sonic Mania. I have not played Sonic Mania. I hope there are more Sonic games on this list. But I haven't played Sonic Mania. Doesn't look like there is. So, I've played a little bit of Sonic 2, and Sonic 3, as well as Sonic & Knuckles, and Sonic Adventure, Sonic Heroes, Shadow the Hedgehog. Overall, I think at least the 2D Sonic games should be, like, collected into this one choice, and I do think they are great. Very great. Yeah. I will return to those at one point, for sure, and I would love to play Sonic Mania as well. I haven't played this one specifically, but I loved Sonic 2 so much. I beat it. I never went supersonic on it because it was so darn difficult. A Hat in Time. Looks fun, collectathon. I would play that, for sure, but I don't know. Never got the inkling to play it. Inkling, that's a Nintendo reference. Batman Arkham City. This is a game I've never played. I've never played any of the Arkham games. I probably should try them out, but I'm not sure I would enjoy the combat. Jungle Party, don't know what that is. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3, right? 3. There are 3 of them? Never played that. Crash Bandicoot Nitro Fuel. This is an excellent game that is held back by its microtransactions. Yeah, if this were the original Crash Bandicoot CTR, I would put this in Masterpiece. Since it's Nitro Fuel, though, I would say it's just very good because, well, actually, no, it's pretty great. Pretty great. It's amazing. Never mind. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's good. It's an excellent update on graphics. True to the original game, they added so much more into the game as well, and it looks beautiful, but the fact that it has microtransactions in it makes me not want to ever come back to it. But, you know, what can you do these days? I did actually, when I found that out, I boycotted it by just never playing online anymore. But yeah, the original Crash Bandicoot CTR, so fun, and very hardcore, but I did get very good at it off of a demo back in the day, demo disc. Mass Effect 2, I've never played a Mass Effect game, and I don't think I want to, for the same reasons listed above for the rest of these, that are story-based and not gameplay-focused. Final Fantasy VII. This looks like the original Final Fantasy VII, so I'm going to put this in... bad. I had a bad time. I did not enjoy what I experienced of it. The turn-based battles are fine, but I prefer, and I'm going to be flamed for this, but I preferred the gameplay and combat and overall story of Final Fantasy VIII. There was something about the cartoony graphics that just turned me off, as well as the constant dialogue. I cannot take it. So that means most Final Fantasies are off the list for me, because I'm not interested in story and dialogue and relationships, and that's most of what that game is. And there are some really awkward moments in that game, too. I didn't ever finish it, but I've watched lots of playthroughs. I probably played about 8 hours of the game, and yeah, I couldn't stomach any more each time. I've tried it like 4 times, and could never get myself beyond like 8-hour mark. Watch Dogs, never played it. The gameplay doesn't, I don't like sneaking, I don't like hacking in games, so yeah, not going to play that. Uncharted 3, the same as Uncharted 2 and 4. Metal Gear Rising, lots of QTEs in that one. Haven't played it, don't plan to play it. Bloodborne, obviously. Absolute masterpiece. Best game. The claps. Claps for Bloodborne. Best ever. Has not been unseated by Elden Ring, even at this point. The Phantom Pain. I've never completed a Metal Gear game. I do want to go back and play Metal Gear 1, because I do remember playing that and had a very fond time dying in that game. So, I don't like sneaking, and I don't like dialogue, and I don't like story in games, so I would probably hate it, but I do want to go back and try it, just to see if my young mind and nostalgia can make it interesting again. I have no interest in playing any of the other ones, because they become a lot more sneak-focused, and, well, I don't know. We'll have to see. Star Wars 2. I have not played this, but I can imagine it very good. Shadow of the Colossus. I've never beaten Shadow of the Colossus. I've beaten about 5 Colossi, and it's very good. It's just boring. It's just boring to me. I like fighting minions in games. Bosses are not ever what I ever come to any game for, despite, the fact that I love Souls and Bloodborne. Never played XCOM. I don't like the turn-based, grid-based battle system, really. Always too boring for me. See what I mean? I'm peevish. What can I say? But this is for you to know what I like and dislike, so just have to be honest with myself. Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I have never played an Assassin's Creed game. Again, don't really plan to, unless They are the RPG ones. Because again, backstabbing people, not my style. I challenge you to a duel and stab you in the front, thank you. Grand Theft Auto, we'll never play a Grand Theft Auto game. Far too inappropriate. Yeah. Nope. Metal Gear Solid 3. Maybe I'll play that one of these days, but I have not yet. Black Flag. Everyone loves Black Flag. Sneaking and Pirates? I might try that out one day. Who knows? Smite. I've never played Smite. Doom. This is Doom 2016. This is actually really good. This is a great game, honestly. I would definitely play that again. Well, would I? I'd play it again on stream, but not on hard difficulty. I tried doing that, and it became unfun. But yeah, I do enjoy the base game. Very fun. It is very bloody, I must say, and I dislike that. And I dislike the fact that, you know, while you don't have to, it is very much encouraged to kill every enemy with a, you know, a punch. What's it called? I can't remember. An execution. Right. I hate the execution thing. Same thing with Sekiro. Every enemy you basically have to kill by executing them. And I think that takes away too much control for too long. Even if it's just a few seconds or half a second of an animation, if you're doing that every few seconds, that gets repetitive. And that's the only thing I really disliked about the Doom remake or Doom reboot. But I did love that game. I even played through the entire game on a challenge run where I did not use the execution attacks. I did not use execute once, although I did use the chainsaw. That was my one gimme. Borderlands 2, very inappropriate, vulgar voice acting, but the shooter RPG idea is very interesting to me. Final Fantasy 15? Is this 15? Yes, it's 15. This was good. This was fun. I liked it. I only played about 12 hours of it. But I actually really enjoyed the combat. I do think that it had way too many cutscenes and way too many, like, non-combat related moments. But I would be okay with playing that again. It's also not turn-based, so I'm much more interested in actually finishing it, if given the time. But it's not a game that calls out to me and says, hey, play me! It's a game that's, I'm like, oh yeah, that was not a negative time. Watch Dogs 2, would never play. Dark Souls 3. This is a masterpiece, even if I dislike it more than the other games. I will return to it and play it again, because it has that same FromSoft DNA. Next up is Dark Souls itself. If Dark Souls 2 is not on here, I'm going to be mad. I prefer Dark Souls 1 to Dark Souls 3. I think Dark Souls 1 is much more RPG-based, like, as in, has more abilities to upgrade yourself and to make your character your own. When it comes to armor, weapons, upgrades, places to go. Like, Dark Souls 3 is far too linear for me. I enjoy the kind of open world feel that Dark Souls 1 gives you, and the massive journey experience. Dark Souls 3 is far too hard, for me anyway, skill-wise, for me to enjoy it as much as Dark Souls or Bloodborne. Bloodborne is very skill-based, but still has that same feel that you can just overpower your enemies with sheer stats, sheer force of numbers, get it? Numbers. Alright, Shadow of War. I actually did play this for about 18 hours before I got stuck because there were too many rival orcs that came after me with overpowered abilities, and I realized I was not enjoying the combat at all. So I must put this in bad as well. What would be in horrible, I wonder? I don't even know. Need for Speed. I think I did the original Need for Speed. I did play, and it was good. I mean, it was decent, let's say. Yeah. I know Shadow of the Colossus is weird and decent, but this is just the time I had with it. I was not inspired to play more of it. Just saying. Like, I don't need to justify myself to you. This is just my subjective enjoyment, not how good the game is. Shadow of the Colossus is definitely masterpiece tier as a game, but I didn't enjoy it as that much. Never played Super Mario Odyssey, but I would love to play it. Devil May Cry 5, I've never played it, and again, vulgar voice acting, violence, and objectification of women. Over-objectification of women. Same with Soul Calibur. Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I've never played, but I would be willing to play. I like ancient RPGs. Mortal Kombat 11, I have not played, and will not play. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. This is the new one, right? I've played the original Modern Warfare in a demo, and that seemed like maybe masterpiece levels. Or amazing. Either way, I do love Call of Duty Modern Warfare, and I think the new one is probably pretty good too. Doom! The original Doom, I did defeat Part 1 of original Doom. No, I defeated all of Doom 1. Yeah. I think I actually enjoy Doom 2016 more than Doom, which is weird considering I love retro games, but there's just something a little more accessible about the new Doom. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. Half-Life. I'd be willing to try out Half-Life. League. Here we go. So I had a good experience with it until I didn't, right? Them's the grids. And now it's just painful to go back again, too. So my experience with this... I mean, honestly, my experience with League recently has been worse than BioShock and Final Fantasy. I'm gonna say horrible. Not because it's a horrible game, but because I don't feel like ever playing it again. Ever. Same thing with Red Dead 2, but I don't think I had a horrible time with it. Overwatch. Overwatch is bad. I didn't have a bad experience. It's decent, but I would not go back to it. I guess that's true of all of these, isn't it? Yeah. Anything below good, I will not go back to. Crash Bandicoot Trilogy. Insane Trilogy. This is masterpiece. This is masterpiece. I will come back to that time and time again. And I actually did during my recent 24-hour 1,000-follower stream, which, again, thank you all so much for being a follower of mine, if you follow me on Twitch, that is. Please, like, subscribe, and, you know, push that notification bell and comment. God of War 3. I never played God of War 3, specifically. I did play God of War 1 to completion, and I played a demo of God of War 2. And those would be in probably the very good category. What is this? Is this Dragon Ball's Fighters Z? Dragon Ball's Fighters' Z's? I wouldn't put this in really bad. I don't like team fight tactics. Not the game. Dragon Ball FighterZ is a team fighter, right? And I just don't like that. It was very fast. In fact, too fast for me to enjoy, truly. So I would say I liked it less than Street Fighter 2. Okay. Far Cry 3, I will never play. FIFA 20? I've never played that. I've played FIFA games before, and I enjoyed them. Definitely. That would be somewhere up close with Tony Hawk Pro Skater if it weren't a recent FIFA. Well, with all the microtransactions, I would not play any of those modern soccer games because of that. Tetris is, of course, a masterpiece, but I don't like playing it. Let's see. Decent. Yeah, it's decent. In my mind, I've had a decent time with it. I'm not great at it, but I can imagine getting better at it, but I don't want to. Fortnite. It's really bad. It's really bad. Once I actually got close... Once I got second place at Fortnite, I was like, you know, if I actually beat this and I got winner, winner, chicken dinner, or the equivalent, I would never play this again because I've done the thing. So it's not something I would want to get better at. It's very basic, but also the building part of it made it crazy ADHD levels of hyperactivity that I could not stomach. Can get sniped across the map. I just don't like those kind of games. Arena games. I do not. World of Warcraft. I did play World of Warcraft, and it was decent. My experience was decent, but I would not want to go back to it. Thank you, Pappy. Thanks a lot. Oh, good. Thank you. Dinner time. Either way, World of Warcraft was decent. I would not go back to it because I don't like subscription services and I don't like Blizzard. And I think it was way too boring when I did try it. Like, it was actually very boring. So maybe I'd put it in bad. Yeah. For the amount of time you have to sink into that to get into anything good, it's not worth it, in my opinion. I like MMOs, and I like the fact that World of Warcraft inspired more MMOs. But I honestly like the other MMOs way more. Now, I've never played Emerald. I think I played Blue, like Pokemon Blue. And if they had that on here, the original Pokemon that I played, which I don't think they do, I would put that in... Oops, where did I put it? Where'd it go? It's gone. Pokemon? What happened? Well, it's gone, so... Where'd it go? It's just gone. Wait, there's Pokemon... Is that... Oh, Fire Red and... Okay, well there's another one. I've only ever played a little bit of one Pokemon game, so I guess I'll put this in decent. I would definitely... Well, good, actually. I would go back to try Pokemon again. Having only emulated it and then lost the save, I enjoyed my time with it. It's a turn-based game that I actually enjoyed to a decent degree, so I'll go back and try that. God of War 2016 was bad for me. I can see the appeal, but something is off about this game in terms of the combat. The original God of War was way better. Far better. The camera angle, the focus on the cinematography over gameplay mechanics, the horrible puzzle system, the boy that you have to call on all the time, the ridiculous amount of dialogue. I hate that. Shut up and let me play the game. Grand Theft Auto 5... I mean, didn't I already say this? Guess not. Horizon Zero Dawn was decent. I wouldn't go back to it, though, because I found it very repetitive, and I don't like bow fighting. I don't like games where the bow is the only way to damage an enemy. Unless it's a, super old retro game. I remember some that were actually fun that way. But Horizon Zero Dawn, its beauty was not enough to bring it back. The story, I think, is very cliched. I could see 10 steps ahead of where the story was going every time. And whenever there was a reveal, I was like, uh-huh. So the story did not capture me at all. The graphics are really good, but I don't care about graphics, really. That's not going to influence me one way or another. The gameplay I didn't enjoy. Let's just say that. Never played a Yakuza game, don't plan to. Ah, this is actually a good one. I enjoyed this more than Street Fighter 2, which is weird. What is this called? DC something. Fighting game. I forget, but I liked this game, and I could come back to it. Although I did see that there was kind of a lack of depth after a while. But I really enjoyed the different single-player, the campaign, as well as the different single-player, what's it called? World campaign. Or planetary campaigns. And the fact that there were so many characters that they brought out. And it's a really punchy fighting style. Which sounds really funny, talking about a fighting game. It's punchy, which it ought to be. I like the sound effects a lot. There's also something really dark and violent about it, which I actually don't like. But nevertheless, it's good. It's very good. That's why it's in the very good section. I really enjoyed that. I'd go back to it, but I don't know. Maybe I will. Indiana Jones Lego. I've not played that. That sounds fun. Lego Star Wars. The first one. Not played that either. I'm sorry. I played Lego Star Wars The Phantom Menace way back in the day. That was super fun. Mario Kart 2. Not played this version of Mario Kart, but Mario Kart is masterpiece levels, or amazing. Super Mario Galaxy, I would like to play that. Minecraft, where to go? Keep losing it. Minecraft was decent. Yeah, I had some good times with Minecraft, but over time I realized there was no other reason to play it other than what creatively you can come up with. Which I'm not a very creative person, honestly. You would expect me to be, being a content creator, but when it comes to games that just give you an open world and give you, crafting materials, I don't like survival games, and I don't like just creativity games. I'm not going to go into a game and be like, what kind of a house can I make? So, in the end, I don't really have a reason to go back to Minecraft because I have tried modding it as well multiple times with different people and with different groups, and tried the Dark Souls mod, which was fun for a few days, but then I realized that too was very repetitive and still was Minecraft. I don't like the look of Minecraft either. I think it looks really stupid, and I would not like to play it again. Monster Hunter World, specifically. This was, again, decent, but I would not go back to it. It's a good game, but super slow combat. Like, incredibly slow. Your character moves like molasses, and the creatures that you fight move at the speed of sound and can crush you so fast, and you have to min-max so hard, and I didn't like it. It was too much for me. I don't like just, boss games. Shadow of the Colossus and this are very similar in this respect. It requires a lot of dedication to beat a single boss, and by that point, at the end of a boss, I'm so tuckered out, I don't want to do it again. Also, there's the added negative about Monster Hunter, where I don't actually like killing beautiful creatures. They make the creatures so beautiful and so realistic, and when you almost beat them, they're like, dragging themselves along, trying to escape from you, and then you just have to go after it and poke it a few more times. It's like killing someone with needle pokes. It's like, yeah, it would take forever, and it would be torturous for them. I'm too much of a humanitarian to enjoy Monster Hunter. Okay, Overcooked, I've not played. I'm not a co-op or a multiplayer guy, really. That's what I've realized. Counter-Strike, I've actually never played Counter-Strike. No, that's not true. I did play Counter-Strike back in the day. Free-to-play trial or whatever. It was fine. It was fine. I don't like that style of gameplay for FPS, though. I guess I'll put it back in bad. Yeah, I did not enjoy it, actually. I played it because it was free, but that was what I enjoyed about it. Oh, this is a game and it's free. I'll play it. But, I dropped it after that. Pac-Man? The Pac-Man? I keep losing these. Is good. It's good enough. It's something to do when you're bored. Classic, masterpiece game. But, it's not a game that I would come back to and try over and over. I guess it's the same as Tetris in that respect. Why is Minecraft indecent? No. Persona 5. I've not played this, and guess what? I wouldn't play it. Another Pokemon that I have not played. Pong! Same as Tetris and Pac-Man. It's a good game. I've had my fun with it, and now I'm done with it. Portal 2, I've not played, and I don't want to play it. Portal 1, I don't want to play. Jackbox, stupid. Resident Evil 2. I've not played any Resident Evil games. I might one of these days play Resident Evil 2 and 4. Sekiro is a masterpiece level game, but my experience with it is bad. Really bad. Yeah, I don't like the gameplay. It's parry focused, skill based, way too hard, and I have gone back to it in the past just to see how I would do in it, and I got pretty far, but I don't enjoy the game. It's not a game where I'm like, I have to play this again. But I did try it again, and it's like, yeah, I have a certain level of skill in it. It hasn't changed. So, yeah, there's nothing to go back to enjoy about Sekiro for me, which is surprising, because I love FromSoft games, but that's the one that took away the RPG elements that I loved. Okay, Super Metroid. I've not played Super Metroid, and I don't think I would enjoy it. But I could try it one of these days. Super Mario 2! Okay, this is masterpiece. Where to go? Keep dropping them. There it is. No, not that. Super Mario 2. This is way up here. I enjoyed the heck out of that, though I think it's harder than even Mario 1. In some ways. Super Mario Galaxy 2. I've not played Super Mario Galaxy. I'd be willing to play that too. Terraria does not look at all appealing to me. I've never played it. Skyrim. This was great. This was great. I'd return to it if I hadn't already 100%ed it, platinumed it, and gotten totally burnt out on it. But I do love it. It's good. The fact that you can go out into third-person mode is what I prefer to do over FPS, which, you know, say what you will. Does make the game slightly harder, but that's worth it to me. I just don't like FPS as a perspective. In fact, I would prefer Halo to be third person, even though I think it's a masterpiece. Zelda Breath of the Wild, I have played maybe 4 hours with a friend, and bad. Not that it's a bad game. I just hate the durability system. I hate it with a loathsome passion. Maybe one of these days I'll come back and play it, but not because I want to, but because maybe someone will prove to me that it is worth my time and I'll actually find something to enjoy about it. Kind of like I did with Sekiro that second time. But, you know, the beauty of the landscape is not enough for me. The dungeons are all the same. Yeah, it does not appeal to me. It's not really bad or horrible. I didn't have a horrible experience with it, but I did definitely get the feeling that I would not like to play it anymore. Zelda Wind Waker. This is a game that I've only played for a few hours in a hair salon, because back in Colorado, when I used to live there as a child, they had a place called Cool Cuts for Kids, and you could play GameCube games when the GameCube came out for free when you got a haircut, and it was genius. And it really got everyone really excited for the video games, but it was expensive to get your haircut there, and they didn't have great service. But who cares? You get to play video games while you're getting your haircut. It was amazing. So I do want to play this again and beat it. I think it's amazing. My experience with it was amazing. I'm not sure I would enjoy it as much as Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess. And guess what's next? Ocarina of Time! Ah! This is one of my favorite games of all time. If not for all of the Souls games, this would be number one. Before I played the Souls games, Zelda was definitely up there with Crash Bandicoot, actually, at first place. And Kirby, I hope that's in here somewhere. Uncharted 2. Okay, I've not played those. What the heck is this? The Dillart? Oh! What is it? I don't even know what that is. Okay. Yeah, not played that. Witcher, The Wild Hunt. I've actually played, like, maybe an hour or two at this. It wasn't a horrible experience, but I don't want to go back to it. I don't like the quest design. The combat is pretty meh, which is all I care about. And if the combat is meh, I'm not going to enjoy it. Also, really inappropriate in many ways from the start, and I cannot caution it or, accommodate for that. No Yakuza games will I play. Apex was... Ooh! Bad? Yeah, it's not on the level of Tetris. I don't like Fortnite-style games. I prefer Apex to Fortnite. I would play Apex again if someone really, really wanted me to. Someone invites me to play Fortnite, I will turn them down flat. In fact, I have had to do that once. Celeste, I have not played, but ooh, that seems painful to me. Chrono Trigger, I would never, maybe I'd play it. I'd try it anyway. Dishonored, I have not played either, but maybe I would, if someone forced me to. Firewatch I've never played, and I will never play, because it's a story game, and I've watched it, and I know the story, so there's no reason to play it myself. For Honor, I actually did play quite a while, at least 40 hours, and it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. I'll put it in decent. Excellent game, but it's a MOBA. When you realize that, it's like, oh, yeah, it is. I don't like that the minions are it's such a MOBA, and I'm not a multiplayer guy, and I'm not a competitive person, and I wish the campaign were better, and that there were more single-player content. It was decent. I won't go back to it, though. Inside. I haven't played this, but I've watched it, and I kind of want to play it, honestly. I would. Binding of Isaac, way too inappropriate, and, sacrilegious, that's the word. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. Oh, it's a masterpiece! I had a masterpiece of a time playing it, and I'll play it again. And I'll play the upcoming sequel as well. I'm very excited for that. It's an adventure, Souls-like, in Star Wars land, and I love it. I love it so much. It's so good. It's so well done. I can't believe that EA did something that good recently. It's amazing. Journey I've never played, and I don't think I want to. Left 4 Dead 2, not a fan of zombie, slaying modern games. Limbo, another one of those games like Inside that I'd be willing to play. Not really my style of game, but I'd play it. Mordhau, I've never played Mordhau, and I like the aesthetics, but I don't think I like the gameplay. Outlast, would never play that. No. Getting Over It, would never play that. Papers, Please, would never play that. Resident Evil, I don't think I'll ever play Resident Evil, Biohazard. Resident Evil 7, it's way too gross. I don't, no. Roblox, would never play that. Rocket League, I have not played. I might play around with that one day. Beat Saber, I don't think I'd ever play that. It's cool, though. Silent Hill 2. This is amazing. Definitely amazing. I've beaten it once, having only played it this last year. So, maybe 5 months ago. And it was pretty great. High-tension game. Very inappropriate, premise to some of the stuff, but it's more implied than actually stated, and I appreciate that. It's not super graphic, and it's very subtle, even though it's a horror game, and I love the psychological horror element. I've never played Sims. Never played Second Son either, although that has been recommended to me. Not really interested in doing that, though. Civilization I've played around with. It wasn't a bad experience, another decent. Right. Not sure I would play it again. It seemed really hard. I love RTSs, though, and that's a different style of RTS, but I did enjoy what I played of it, but I'm not, super into it. Spider-Man for the PS5 is definitely amazing. Now, the reason why Silent Hill is not higher is because I preferred Silent Hill 1, and I think Silent Hill 2... I don't feel like going back to it that much. So it really does feel like a very negative experience. Silent Hill 1 is kind of like a B-movie fun jaunt through a horror landscape, whereas that feels like a tense, brooding nightmare that you cannot escape from. And that's a negative experience, so it's less masterpiecey. Spore, I've never played, and I'm not interested. Wii Sports, that's a sports game. There it is, Pokemon Emerald. I've never played Pokemon Emerald. Not interested in Bully. Deus Ex, not really interested, but maybe one of these days I'll try out a Deus Ex. Factorio, I've not played Factorio either. Fallout 4, I have played a lot of, maybe 50 hours, and not beat the game. I got very tired of it, though. It was decent. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Repetition, lots of wandering, lots of grinding. I don't know what this is. I've not played any other Fallout games, so maybe that's Fallout 3. Fallout 76. Oh gosh. It's online only, so I'll never play it. Far Cry 5, haven't played it, and again, very inappropriate. Far Cry... Oh, wait, which was... This is Far Cry 3, but it looks like a weird movie. I have no idea what's going on there. Yeah, I've only played Far Cry 4. So, Warcraft. I had a pretty bad experience with Warcraft. The RTS. I couldn't make it past like the 3rd level. And it was so hardcore, I didn't want to play it anymore. Counter-Strike, again, haven't played. G! This is a G. I have not played a G. I have played Guitar Hero, I guess, for a while. Way to go. It's gone. Man, this mouse sucketh. I'll find it again, I guess. I did play it a while, but I didn't want to play it anymore. Heyday, Hitman, no. Hotline Miami, no. Just Cause, no. Kingdom Hearts, I'd actually kind of like to try this, but something tells me I wouldn't enjoy it. What is this? Life is Strange, would never play it. Would never play it. Metro 2033 Redux? Is there another Metro game on here? Because I have indeed played Metro Exodus. If Metro Exodus is not on here, then I will put that up on the board. Metro Exodus, which this is not, I have played all of, and that was great. It was great. Yeah. I don't think I'd ever go back to it, but it was great. I had a very good time with it. It was bought for me, and I did play it on someone's recommendation, and I actually did enjoy it, but it's not a game I would go back to. It's very... what do you call? Cutscene heavy, dialogue heavy, and lots of... it's very linear, and does not have any RPG elements. Yeah, so I have things against it, but it was okay. Actually, I'll put that down more to very good. No, more like good, yeah. Mount and Blade Warband. I actually had a pretty bad experience with this too. Way too hard for me. Hardcore. Nier. Never played a Nier game. No idea what this is. Logic 2. Path of Exile. This is an interesting one because I've had both good and bad experiences with it, based on different updates. I've never beaten it, but I've played at least like 90 hours of it, and I'm tired of doing so. Tired of playing it. So, decent. Yeah. I like Diablo-likes, but not that kind. I prefer Diablo 3 to Path of Exile. That's just the type of person I am. Someone has said that Path of Exile is chess, whereas Diablo 3 is checkers, and I think that is definitely the case. The childlike game versus the adult game, right? Diablo 3 being the childlike one. I just like more instant gratification. Plants vs. Zombies, that's a mobile game. I'd never play that. Postal 2, no. Prototype, no. Is that similar to Second Son? I guess it might be. Rainbow Six Siege, I have not played it. It's a multiplayer game. Saints Row 2, nope. Not my style. Inappropriate. Sniper Elite, I have not played that. Stalker, I don't know what this is. Don't know what that is. Star Wars Battlefront 2. I am tempted to put this in Masterpiece, but honestly, having played it a lot, it's not something I really want to go back to. But it is very good. Yeah. Yeah. Star Wars Battlefront 2. Never played and never will. Super hot. I've never played it, but I want to. What is this? What is this? I recognize this. What is this? I can't read that. I don't know what this is. If I can't tell by that, then I probably haven't played it. Undertale, I will never play. Animal Crossing. No. Nope, not played that. Cuphead, I've played. Good. Yeah, very good. Actually, very good. I'll come back to it. Not my favorite game, but I'll come back to it. Death Stranding. I would play that for a meme. Diablo 2. Good. Yes. Not very good, because having not grown up with it, it does have some very archaic systems, even the remaster. And playing through it, I'd only play it single player, so there's no randomization of the levels, so it would be the same game every time. And why they couldn't randomize the single player levels and only randomize multiplayer is beyond me, so it kind of leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Also, you can only play that if you've been online for the past month, which causes me to dislike it a bit. Weird stuff. If you've bought the remaster, which is the only one I have. It was a good experience, though. It was good. A little tedious, but it was good. Grounded, not played, not a multiplayer gamer. Just Dance, have never played, wouldn't play. NBA 2K20, that's very recent and I wouldn't play it. Persona, I don't think I'll play that. Sly Cooper, no, I've never played actually. None of the Sly Cooper games. Probably should rectify that at some point. Spec Ops: The Line, that's such a cool title, but I've never played it. Valorant, never played Valorant. I'm not sure I want to. Crusader Kings 2, never played. Never played a Crusader Kings 1. Divinity Original Sin 2, I don't want to. Dead or Alive, no. Yeah, inappropriate. I have no idea what this is. Dying Light, not into modern zombie games. Fall Guys, no way I'm playing that. Half-Life Alyx, I've never played. I'd be interested in playing it, but you need VR. The Last of Us 2, would never play this. For many reasons, morally and gameplay-wise, and cutscene-wise, and everything. Metal Gear! I have played this demo, and it was a very good experience, and I want to come back to it, actually. Even though it seems to be full of cutscenes and dialogue, I had fun as a child with it. Again, didn't get very far. Got to the tank, and could not make it any further. Oblivion I've never tried, but maybe I will. Although, I had trouble with Skyrim and its design, so I'm not sure I would like to go back to an earlier version. Payday, no way. What is this? Is that Persona? I don't know. More Persona, oh my gosh! Rust, I kind of would like to play this if there were a single-player version of it. It looks really cool. I'm not a fan of the survival element, though. Saints Row would never play any of those. Titanfall 2, I want to play, but I'm not super interested. Dawn of War! This is a very good game. Very good. Yes. An excellent RTS. It's really hard for me to concentrate on RTSs during streams, so I'll probably never stream that. Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. Not a fan of that type of game. Neptunia, never played. Shovel Knight, that might be something I need to check out. Although I don't really like Metroidvanias or super hard side-scrollers. Not sure. What is this? Samurai Warrior 2, never played. Dragon Ball Z something or other. Kakarot, yeah, not played that. Dead by Daylight, I'd never play it. DuckTales? Wait a minute. Is this for Sega Genesis? Amazing and difficult. Where did it go? Man, I hate this. Oh my gosh, I've dropped it somewhere and I don't know where it is anymore. Oh, my eyes. Anyway, there it is. Very good. Sure. Yeah, that's fine. No. We're putting it up there. Great. Maybe Cuphead needs to be up there too, but I haven't beaten it all, so I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Untitled Goose Game. That seems very boring, but, you know, charming game. Hollow Knight. Dagnabbit! Hold on to it, Charles! I need to hold on to my mouse like the grip of death. What do I do with this? I will say I had a bad experience with it, but it's a beautiful game and I love it, but it's just so hard, and I don't like backtracking. It's like one of my pet peeves in games. Never played any Batman Arkham games. Flight Simulator. I'm not interested. Hero, nope. Nope. What is that? Subnautica! I've not beaten Subnautica, but I've spent quite a while in it, and it is terrifying. I definitely have fear of the open ocean and of sea creatures. But yeah, I don't want to go back there ever again. I lost everything in it at one point. Just my submarine destroyed in the deep, dark depths, and I was like, yeah, I'm never going to do that. Never going to play Super Seducer either. Warhammer 2. Total War Warhammer 2. I've never played a Total War game. Yakuza? No More Heroes. Nope. Ghost of Tsushima. Yeah, that's amazing. I think I like it more than Spider-Man. Need to go back and play that again. On stream. Love it. It's what Sekiro should have been to me, or at least what I was expecting of Sekiro. Ori and the Blind Forest. Not too interested in side-scrolling platformers. Bayonetta. No, way too inappropriate. Call of Duty Cold War. No. Crusader Kings. No. Would never play Cyberpunk. Doom Eternal. I did actually play this for a while, maybe 12 hours, and it was a really bad experience. Remaster of Final Fantasy. I've not tried that, and I'm not going to. Hades. That is something I am going to try one of these days. This is something Blizzardy. Hitman. I would never play Hitman. Superliminal. That's a puzzle game. Never going to play it. Avengers has stopped all support for it recently. Wasteland 3. Like a Dragon. Not played. That's a lot. There are more I've not played than those I've played. But yeah, I would not play most of these, in fact. Don't want to. Most of the reason why these are here are not because I didn't get the chance to play them, but because I chose not to. So, except for Hades. And maybe Limbo and Inside. Half-Life. Star Wars games. Nintendo games in general, the at least Mario ones. Never played God of War 3. That's the only God of War? Weird. Yeah, if God of War were here, not just 3, I would put that at very good, but way too inappropriate for me to ever go back to, so it goes into the decent pile. Which is below good, which is where I'll never come back to play them. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That is my list. Not exhaustive list, because where is the original Mario? Where is Mario 64? Where is GoldenEye 007? That would be probably up an amazing or masterpiece. But yes, hopefully this gives you a bit more of a good idea as to what I actually enjoy. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless you. Thanks again, and I hope to see you in the next one. The good Lord loves you, and so do I. Goodbye. Goodbye. Thank you. Goodbye.